You guys are actually live first. There we go. Now we're live on YouTube. Yeah, that's the. Okay, it does sound good. All right, what's going on, guys? We made it. Took a little bit, but we did it. Kai, what's going on? Redneck, what's up? We got a couple guys already hanging out. How are you guys doing? How's your Wednesday going? YouTube, let me know if everything sounds good on your end and if my chat is working. Right there we go. Bowling Fool, got you. What's going on, man? All right, we made it. Little bit of a struggle. Sando City. Ivan, what's going on? Hey, thank you for the congrats for 10K. Thank you, thank you. Bowling a tournament tonight. Ooh, a Wednesday night tournament. Nice. What's it look like right now? What's the pattern? What you throwing? Maddie Nitro, what's going on? We got a lot of people hopping in. And then on the YouTube side, looks like we got a couple jumping in already. What is going on, YouTube? Sorry for the little bit of a delay. We had a little bit of a mess up. I thought I could go live on my computer for both platforms, but TikTok apparently isn't the greatest with live streaming when trying to do it from a computer. So I gotta do a little bit of weird stuff to try to get it to work later on. But we'll get that situated later. Today, we're here to do a bowling Q&A. We had a bunch of bowling balls come out over the last week. We have Black Friday coming up in a couple days, which is awesome. I just clicked on the wrong thing. We have a lot of bowling ball deals coming in. I don't think there's any live right now. I was going to check while we're live to just do some bowler smart searching. They usually have the best ones. And then we have to celebrate a little bit because we actually hit on TikTok. We hit 10,000 followers last night. Overnight, we broke 10K, which is massive. And then YouTube, I think are really close to 4K or we're at 4K. One or the other. We were like 30 or 40 away when we went live. So we're very, very close. I thought now's a good time to do the Selly. Might as well. Kyle, thank you for the congrats. Teddy, happy Thanksgiving to you too. Thank you. Thank you for the congratulations messages. Let's see, on the TikTok side, Ivan, you're bowling a sweeper 13-1. Oh, okay, a nice little house shot tournament. Nice, nice. Remember, blend the cliff as best you can. And then Anthony, do you think the Phase AI would be good with your Optimum Idle Solid? Yes, absolutely. I think that's a very, very good pairing. The Optimum Idle Solid and the AI is good, or the Optimum Idle Solid and the Optimum Idle Pearl are really good. Oh, it's titanium. Okay, yeah, I bowled on titanium before. Fun pattern, really fun pattern. I think I whacked it last time I bowled it. I think I used an Axiom Solid that was shiny and it looked great. Let's see. Bowling Fool Archetype Hybrid's already 119. Yeah, that was on the list of discontinued bowling balls. If you guys saw my last video on TikTok or on YouTube, one of my last video on TikTok, it's been a few days now, or like a day. The Archetype Hybrid got discontinued. So I should pull up my list of discontinued bowling balls so I remember them, because there were 16, I believe, in total. There was a bunch, and now a couple more apparently. I've been hearing that the Vibo might be discontinued. I can't guarantee it. I gotta do a little more research to verify, but somebody said the Vibo and then the Road are both discontinued. And I talked about the Road potentially being discontinued. I didn't talk about the Vibo though. So that would be a little bit interesting. It would be very, very interesting. Let's see. Pete, curious on your thoughts on laying out a larger core urethane like the Pink Widow. So, yeah, keeping it similar to a benchmark, yes. So I would recommend making it, Pete, a longer pin, so something like 4 to 4.5 inches. So when you drill out a urethane, you want the pin to be very short, as strong as humanly possible. You want it to be you want it to be like 3 3/4 inches to 4 inches, because you need a urethane ball to flare. However, when they have those fat cores in them, you actually want them to be normal, like more normal than you would more normal than like as a regular ball would be, like 4 1/4 inches, 4 inches, something like that, because otherwise it's going to flare too much and it'll just be weird. Dave, how does the Sublime compare to an AI? The Sublime is much earlier and much smoother than an AI. All right, let's see. Let's jump back onto the TikToks. What do you think of the Origin? I think the Origin is really good right now, Jennifer. It is super strong, though. It is much stronger than both Global anticipated and I think than staffers anticipated and anybody who's bought one so far. So last weekend, I was bowling on 50 feet, virtually flat, and the Origin looked phenomenal for a lot of people, but a ball that shiny shouldn't. The core is just so strong and the cover is so strong that it is a very strong bowling ball. Maddie, I asked last week, but wanted to confirm you're using the IQ Ruby for burnt, but thinking of replacing it with the Road Warrior. Yes, I still think that's a good idea. Absolutely. Austin, right now for college, I have a Night Road, a Road Warrior, Zen Master, and Ion Pro. So you have a Night Warrior, Road Warrior, Zen Master, Ion Pro. You have a pretty weak arsenal right now. Since you're bowling college, I'd recommend a urethane. Otherwise, a strong ASIM, something like an Ion Max, because it looks like you have a lot of storm stuff. Redneck, I've never done it. I'm using my Raptor. Okay, good call. Yeah, a lot of stuff looks good on titanium early, so that should be okay. Alan, thoughts on the Hustle Camo? Hustle Camo's good. It's not bad. It's not the greatest Hustle on the market. I think the Rip is better right now, but the Camo is still a very good one. Let's see, Maddie, we hit Back Bowl Pro Shop. Enjoy the videos. And is this the first live? It is not. It is not my first live. We've been live pretty much weekly for about a month and a half now. Oh, and you found me on YouTube too. Perfect. Yeah, I found you on TikTok first, but found this pretty quick. Awesome. Yeah, no, we go live pretty much weekly, usually Wednesdays. It's usually a little later in the day, so thank you guys for jumping in at such a weird time. I just have some travel to do for Thanksgiving, so I thought it'd be easier to at least be able to go live a little bit earlier compared to not go live at all. So thank you guys for jumping in. Yes, but yeah, so you did mention Storm says they don't recommend a strong layout on urethane. So they don't on their IQ 78. So a lot of people have found the 78 looks like garbage when you put a super strong layout on it. But when you put a weaker layout on it, it's better. Now, I still hate the 78 with an undying passion. Don't get me wrong. I'm still very anti IQ 78U. But that is a ball that you should put a weaker layout on because it has that IQ core. It's a stronger core than typical urethanes. Hey, Craig, thank you for the follow. Hey, Don, what's going on? Just drilled a Focus. Where'd you? Oh, there it is. That's a daddy ball. I've only seen good things with that Focus, especially polished too. It just seems like that really good, like it's basically phase 2-esque reaction, which is awesome. That is awesome to see because the Optimum Idol was good. It's just so slow and smooth. Very slow and smooth. Back bowl, absolutely. You are welcome. Let's see, Maddie Nitro, you've got, yeah, Gem Solid, Idol, Ion Pro, Attention Star, and Ruby. Yeah, so I think it'll fit really well because that ball will fit around that Attention Star and Ruby, Matt. Fuentes, best ball for a two-finger bowler. That can be a lot of things. It really depends. You're probably rev dominant, so you're going to want something weaker, especially if it's your first bowling ball ever, Fuentes. So I'd go with like a Hustle or a Vibe to start. G Money, thank you for the follow. Redneck, is the Raptor Fury a good call for that pattern? The Fury is the solid one. It's gonna be a little strong. It'll be good for a couple games. I don't think it'll be good the whole time though. You're probably gonna have to switch to something shiny, Redneck, a little bit later into the tournament. So what's the deal with the two-finger Heckler? You know, that's a good question, Yugi Van. I probably butchered her name. Apologies. Yeah, the Heckler is good, actually. It's very good. My video for it popped off, and I don't know why. I didn't think there was that much hype around that bowling ball, but apparently you guys love it. Or a bunch of people like to watch it. So the core of it is created so that if you drill into it with just two fingers, no thumb, the core stays exactly how it is. So for most bowling balls, almost all the time, you have pre-drilling numbers, which is what gets put on the box. Like I don't know, like an 052 differential on the box. That's what it is before you put holes in it. After you put holes in it, the numbers generally change depending on where you put the holes. And that's where layouts come in because, and included with like where the pin is and where the core is, where you put the holes actually changes the RGN differential. So with a Heckler, if you put in just 2 fingers in a normal two-hander location, the core doesn't change. The core stays the same. So that's why the Heckler is so unique. But if you put a thumb in it, it actually changes the numbers a little bit, with just like every other bowling ball ever created. So yeah, so that's the deal with that one. Let's see. Back bowl is my first time watching. Love it. Love it. Sizzle. Yep. Back bowl makes sense. Khalil, purple hammer all the way. Purple a shalammer. Yugi, yeah, Heckler, we hit that. Steve, thank you for the follow. All right, let's jump over back to the YouTube quick, because we got a lot of comments coming in there. YouTube, how you all doing today? You all look great. LSU Recruiter, what's the best ball in the market right now for a two-hander that is speed dominant? There's a lot of options out there, but if you're speed dominant, you're going to want something a little stronger. So that Heckler that I mentioned might actually be a good play, because that ball's actually going to hook early enough for you if you're speed dominant. Akash, do you think they will ever come out with a phase 2 with an AI core anytime soon? God, I hope not. No, no, probably not. They wouldn't use the same cover, I don't think. I don't think they would recreate a bowling ball and just slap an AI core in it. Like, I think they would switch the cover stock of it. They'd give it like a super strong or super weak cover stock. Like, they'll, even with the Road Warrior, like it's the high road core with AI. However, it's they gave it a different cover stock. They gave it R2S deep instead of R2S pearl. So I don't think they'd ever just recreate a ball and then do that. Let's see. Michael, would the Origin be a good replacement for the Hammer 2.0 hybrid? It's going to be a bit stronger. It's going to be, I think, a lot stronger than the Hammer or the Black Widow 2.0 hybrid. Nathan, what's going on? Thank you for the like too, Nathan. Kyle, I have a Hammer Effect and a Hazmat Hybrid and a Vibe Arctic. Can you recommend a few balls to pair? So you have an Effect, a Hazmat, and a Vibe. So you have a really shiny arsenal, Kyle. I would recommend some kind of smoother bowling ball, like a Hazmat Solid or a Scorpion Low Flare. The GOAT, by the way. I got to talk about last weekend with that ball. Sheesh. That thing is ridiculous on house shots. Hazmat Solid, Scorpion Low Flare, if you want to stick with Hammer. Otherwise, Game Breaker 5 would be good. Let's see, Akash, you have a Attention Star, Sublime, Pride Dynasty, Raptor Fury, Black Widow 2.0. Addition to that, you've got a lot of solid balls, so I would go with something like a Scorpion Strike or a Road Warrior or a Primal Rage. Bowling Fool, can we assume they're coming out with a 3.0 Pearl? Yeah, we pretty much can. I have no confirmation. I don't get confirmations for that kind of stuff, but I'm gonna assume that we're going to get a 3.0 Pearl sooner rather than later. I'd assume January to February would be my guess. I will, with what the date is, I'm going to assume there's one more ball release for 2024 for every company. I don't think that will have the 3.0 Pearl in it. Maybe they could. Hammer hasn't come out with a Pearl in a minute, and they just came out with the Effect Tour. I could see it. I could see it before February would be my guess. Let's see. Kyle, you have an X3, an Optimum Idol, Attention Star, and a Rip. Any holes that you can see? X3, Optimum, Attention Star, and a Rip. You might need something a little weaker than that star. Something like you like Storm Road Warrior, I think would be really good, Kyle. David, thank you for the $5 super chat. One-hander, 14.5 mile an hour on 200 revs. For me, the Sublime Focus is the top of my bag, with the 3.0 being number 2. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So that is a very good point, David. You bring up a really good point, where my recommendations for a lot of this stuff is all relative, right? Like, you might have things a little bit different, and that is okay. These are just what the numbers say. If you have everything else the same, if you have, in general, if you have a 3.0, a Widow 3.0, and you have a Sublime Focus, the Widow should be earlier and smoother. Maybe, well, probably similar downlane reaction, but it should be a little earlier. But there are times where that's not the case, whether it be layout, whether it be amount of games on it, whether it be surface. So that is a-okay. So I use what I have as a recommendation to start. Then when you get them, you can really see where they all fall into place. But really good question, and thank you for the super chat, David. Really appreciate it. Chris Vet, I wanted to get an attention star to add to my arsenal. What's the difference between the original and the S2? The S2 is a pearl and the S2 is a hybrid and the original is a pearl. So the original is going to go further down lane and be sharper than the S2. All right, James, we'll hit this one. And we got a lot of, also Ronan, thank you for the rose over on TikTok. I'll be back to the TikTok chat in about 30 seconds. So James, speculation on Motive's next release. The top row far left side is vacant. There are a couple other spots vacant. I'm guessing, James, they're getting rid of the ambush. They might have already. I haven't heard about it yet, but if they haven't, I'd assume they're going to put a new jackal there, a new big asymmetrical ball. I'd guess by New Year, but they should announce one in the next like week or so. And then let's jump over back to all of the TikToks. Where were we at? G Money, you got any thoughts or experience using acrylic paint pens to fill in fading logos? I think you could, but I think they'll come off kind of quick. Bowling balls go through a lot, especially with oil and amount of times it gets thrown around in the back of the pit and things like that. So I would recommend trying it and see if it sticks. Let's see. Is Phase AI a shiny ball? It is. Yes. Oh, you got it right. It's Navy Guy backwards. Oh, okay. I see. Hey, Kickstand Kurt, thank you. Happy Thanksgiving to you too. Let's see. Thoughts on the hammer effect? I'll just call you Cross because you got just an emote there. The hammer effect is very good. It's one of the top 5 asymmetrical shiny balls of the year. So very, very good ball. Surface is more important than layout. Also true, back bowl. Absolutely. Christopher Schreck, do you think a Rhino is okay for a two-hander? Yes, absolutely. The Rhino is a-okay for a two-hander. It is, it's going to be a much weaker option for you, but that's okay because as a two-hander, you're probably rev dominant. And then Nathan with the hello. Nathan with the lovely hi. Let's see. Ronan, what's the difference between an Attention Star Original and a Harsh Reality Pearl? Good question. So they are both asymmetrical pearls, but they're very, very different. The Attention Star is much weaker, and it's going to be much sharper down lane. Whereas the Harsh Reality Pearl is going to be much earlier and much smoother. So they're going to fit 2 different spots, Ronan. So they are both asim pearls, but they are very different in that way. Let's see. Christopher Schreck, what's rev dominant? So in bowling, there used to be tweener, cranker, and stroker. They've really been replaced now because that isn't really accurate. We have rev dominant, speed dominant, and balanced. So rev dominant means your revolutions outmatch your speed. And that means that your bowling ball is going to hook a lot more than someone who's balanced because you have more revs compared to your speed. Now, if you're speed dominant, your speed outweighs your revolutions. And that means you're going to need stronger equipment because you'll have a problem getting the ball to hook. So speed dominant rev dominant can be people with 500 rev rates or people with 200 rev rates who throw it super slow. So that's why we switched over, but that is what rev dominant is. Redneck, you picked up a Black Hammer urethane. Nice. Good pickup. Good pickup. One-handed bowler, was the hyped pearl any good? They released an overseas version. I might get it. One-handed bowler, I might have seen that on Bowlers Mart's Instagram where they had a shiny hyped. So I would wait to pick it up until Friday. It might be on sale. But the Hype Pearl was very good. It was a really good, weaker option, but it was super, super weak. Like very, very weak. Cake Capone. Hey, I have a phase 2 and need something that will get me more length. Phase AI is a good option. Otherwise, Road Warrior Cake will be good options. Let's see. Kevin Truce, Black Widow 3.0 Pearl with cohesion additive. That would be nutty. That would be really good. HK22C on a Black Widow 3.0 Pearl would be amazing. Let's see. Pro Shop Guy recommended only plugging and drilling the ball 2 times. I would recommend that too. Once you get past that, it's a little bit rough. So that is a good point. And back bowl, the best thing you can do as a new bowler is understand surface and how it changes. Absolutely a good thing. Nothing really changes after the 7th drill. The problem is the more you plug it, the more chance you have of it cracking because plug will cause a ball to crack if it happens too often. It just boosts the odds of that. What's the ball motion do if the pin is above both fingers, Robert? So if the pin is above both fingers, in general, this is very generalized. It depends on the bowler, but we would call that a pin up reaction. So that will cause your ball to be earlier and be sharper down lane, where pin down will cause it to be longer before it hooks and be smoother. You're looking for a straighter ball motion, Robert. I would recommend pin down then. T-Warrior, big fan of the Effect Tour. The Effect Tour is really good. It is really good. I was throwing it on 50 feet this weekend, and it looked great. It looked very, very good, except for the time I almost lilied. That was fun. I got the 5 and 7 out, but it was really late. Really, really late. Is a Stealth Hybrid a good step up from the Hypervenom? It is. It is actually a very good step up one-handed. All right, let's jump back over to the YouTubes. Where were we at? Nick B, can the Road Warrior replace the IQ Tour Ruby? Yes and no, Nick. It's gonna be a little sharper than it's gonna be a bit sharper than the Ruby, so it can, but it'll be a different reaction. If you're looking for a better replacement, I would go with the Road Warrior though. And Golf Doggy, Road Warrior versus the Road. I love that name. In terms of overall strength and back end, yes, the Road was earlier and much smoother than the Road Warrior, whereas the Road Warrior is gonna be much longer and sharper. Hirsch Bowling, word on the new physics? There's a new physics? Explain, Hirsch. I haven't heard of any. I know Maribeth came in a while ago to the TikTok chat and mentioned a physics coming out. I know nothing about it right now. So if you know something, I mean, we like information on this channel. We don't hate information. Bracken, let's see. What's the top 5 asymmetrical pearls? So I am going to pause on that question, Bracken, because I have a new series coming out starting Sunday where we're going to have our top 5 bowling balls from all of our categories. So strong, smooth, strong, sharp, medium, smooth, medium, sharp, etc., etc. So we will have a brand new series coming out. I will have the top 5 asim pearl video up probably next Thursday. I have it recorded, so I know what they are. We have mentioned a lot of the top 5 already in this stream, but I will wait until Thursday to fully showcase that. But yes, the attention star is on the list. Dead Polymers, two-handed lefty, 400 rev, 500 mile an hour. That would be awesome. 15 mile an hour. Having the IQ Tour, Ivory Rhino, and Plastic. You're looking for a stronger third ball. I would go. You could go Ion Pro if you don't want much of a difference, but I would go with a Phase 2 instead. It'll be a bit stronger than that IQ. Darren, you talked about blending the cliff. Yes, absolutely, I can talk about it. I was holding my, I have my like wrist thingy because my desk is completely screwy right now. I was just holding that the whole time and I didn't notice it. So Darren, blending the cliff. So we're going to go back a little bit. What is the cliff in bowling? The cliff in bowling is something that it is when there is a lot of oil in the middle of the lane and then there's no oil on the outside. So when you're throwing, the cliff is when if you miss right, your ball overhooks. You miss left and your ball never hooks. This generally happens on house shots quite often because a house shot already starts a little bit cliffed. It's usually blended enough where if you miss right, your ball strike, you miss left, your ball strike. However, when everybody's throwing around the same break point, that spot burns up. And when that spot burns up, your miss right will actually hook too much and your miss left then because of the carry down or because you move too far left and that oil hasn't been touched, ends up not hooking. So to blend the cliff, the best way to do it is having a solid or dull bowling ball, usually a little stronger. Because if you have something shiny and it sees the friction when you miss right, it's going to go sideways on you and go through the face. But a shiny ball also is susceptible to not hooking on oil. So if you miss left, it might not hook that much. That's where a duller ball, when you miss right, it's actually going to be rounder and still hit the pocket. And if you miss left, it's strong enough where it's going to be able to get back to the pocket and strike. So that's what I mean by blending the cliff. A very, very good skill to have because that situation happens a lot, especially in league. Dondrick, try to decide between an Ion Pro and an NV Tour. Yes, there are a lot of big differences between those two, Dondrick. So the NV Tour is going to be a heck of a lot earlier and a heck of a lot smoother, whereas the Ion Pro is going to be much later and much sharper. All right, Enoch, hey, what's going on, man? Glad to see you. The local high schools have begun their bowling season and they bowl before my league. My house also doesn't re-oil in between. Ooh, that's fun. Yeah, no re-oil is brutal. I feel that. I bowled a full league one year with no re-oil. It was miserable. There'd be a lane you go on and it hooks like 15 boards more than the other lane. It was great. Hirsch, Chris Barnes mentioned it. Barnes is leaking information. Wow. Can't trust that guy with anything. But interesting. Oh, there it is. Dead polymers. New physics blackout on the USBC approved list yesterday. Well, if Barnesy mentioned it and if it's on the approval list, sounds pretty legit. Physics blackout coming soon? Question mark. Bracken, roger that. And James, you have the Crimson Jackal 5 1/4 pin up. Thinking about getting the rush and drilling it pinned down. So that'll cause it to be a lot straighter than your Crimson Jackal. It'll be a lot later and a lot smoother than the Crimson, which could be a good 1-2 combo in my opinion. You probably don't have to drill it pinned down, but that is a good option. All right, let's jump back over to the TikTok side. Quick little explanation of everything for the live stream because we've been answering a lot of questions lately. One, thank you guys from both platforms for joining. It's really appreciated. Love every single one of you. You all look great today, by the way. Look fantastic. Very ready for Thanksgiving. But we are here because on TikTok, we just hit 10,000 followers, which is an awesome, awesome thing. I never thought we'd get to 10K. Starting this channel a couple years ago and just posting videos of myself, and we were able to reach like 1,000 followers that way in about a year and a half. And then January we really started to go hard on the channel and do reviews and do arsenals and do things like that, and we were able to get up to 10K with a massive push these last couple days with the breaking news of the discontinued list into the nice little debate of the Brunswick brands not being on the PBA tour, at least their logos won't be, and all that. So TikTok, thank you guys all so much for following. Thank you everybody who's following right now. I saw there's a couple of you. Make sure to drop a like if you haven't. It's really appreciated. And then on the YouTube side, I think we're about to hit 4K subs. Either we hit it already or we're close. So thank you guys all so much. And we have 50 of you out there. Thank you all. Love you guys all. Make sure to drop a like if you haven't, drop a sub if you haven't. And on the YouTube side, we have reinvented our membership program. So I think it's for $4. You get ad-free viewing and then a couple cool loyalty badges and emotes. One more thing, we do have more merch that just dropped. So go check out our merch shop. We have a link both on TikTok and on YouTube. We dropped a whiteout hoodie. It looks really good. And then a couple other cool colors. So go check those out. They're only about 40 bucks right now. It's about the cheapest I could make them without Teespring yelling at me. So yeah, go check those out if you want a hoodie for the holiday season. But let's get back to the Q&A. So I just said we were going to jump over to TikTok. Where were we at? We hit that back bowl. Lily always likes to pop up in my house. That is interesting. I don't see many lilies. We did see one on Saturday on the 50-footer because a guy who had 360 grit in his ball and the ball puked at 10 feet. Jeff, are you bringing anyone up? Because I can't type all that I want to say. Are you bringing anyone up? No, I am not, Jeff. Apologies. I won't be bringing anyone on the live stream. But if you have a lot, like a big arsenal thing, make sure try DMing it to me if it's a lot of stuff, because I will get to it pretty quick. Let's see. I see Vince. I got a question for you. It's pretty important. Oh, ask away. Absolutely, Vince. Navy got the rush release yesterday and it's awesome. Rush release day yesterday. Nice. That's great. I'm glad you like it. A lot of people like that ball right now. Let's see. Big motive guy. That ball looks super strong. Where were we? Where did that comment go? Oh, there it is. Patri. What's a good hybrid made by Brunswick that is strong but controllable? So I think the Pure Envy is going to be your best bet. It's very strong, but the Pure Envy is really good right now. Really, really good. Jackson, is it normal for a big ASIM solid to not hook on lower volume patterns? Is it normal for a big asymmetrical ball to not hook on lower volume patterns? Yes, absolutely. So this is the sucky thing with bowling, right? So if you throw like in golf, if you hit a driver, it's going to go a long ways, no matter what. If you're 20 feet away from the green and you swing hard, it's going to go a long ways. If you do it 400 yards out, it's going to go a long ways. However, in bowling, if you throw the big ASIM on a lot of oil, it's probably going to be super round and blendy and go through the pins really well. If you throw it on not much oil, it's not going to hook into the left gutter. The ball is actually going to burn up and hook too early, and then it's going to look like it doesn't hook, which is really, really annoying and really hard to see. So yes, yeah, long story short, it is normal to see a big asymmetrical solid not hook on lower volume. Jackson, it's a criterion. And sometimes when I throw it on burnt up patterns, yes, that is very common, Jackson, very common. CJ, loving your Sub-Zero. I love that. That is awesome. That ball is good. That ball's really good. How often should you restore your ball to box surface? Because I have at least 100 plus games on your phase 2. I'd recommend soon, unless you like it. If you stop liking the reaction, absolutely. But if you like the reaction yet, you don't have to touch it. That's okay. That is okay. Rocco, what's your opinion or comment on a weak ball being stronger than a strong ball? That does happen, absolutely. So if you throw on very low, so let's go for an example, what I was bowling on this weekend. I was bowling on 50 feet of oil, but it wasn't, but the lanes we were on had a lot of friction in them. So my hammer Extreme Envy would hook at 20 feet, but then it would go super flat to the pocket. Whereas I throw my phase 2 and it actually is too angular down lane because it gets further down lane. So it looks stronger. So I have to stand further left with my phase 2 than with my Extreme Envy, even though the Extreme Envy is stronger. So yes, weaker bowling balls can look stronger than a strong ball. CJ, think about the Raptor or the new Primal. I am a sucker for the new Primal. I really am. Now, I have nothing to back that up, minus the old Primal Rages were awesome, and everything I've seen and heard so far is really good, but people really like the Raptor Rush also, so you can't go wrong with either. Let's see. If you're motive, then you need the shock. Yeah, you need to try a shock all the time. Shocks are one of the best bowling balls ever made. Let's see. Tony just picked up a Sneak Attack Solid. Tell me about it. Tony, all right. Sneak Attack Solid. Hey, Revs on the left side. Thank you so much for the congrats on the 4K. Thank you. All right, Tony. So the Sneak Attack Solid is going to be a weak and smooth ball. It's going to be very, very smooth. It's going to be really good from straighter, and it's going to be smooth enough to be able to not overhook too much. You won't be able to get that far left with it, but you are going to be able to play a little bit straighter with it when your other stuff is hooking way too much. Big K, what's the best medium sharp ball for speed dominant bowler? So I would go something like an Optimum Idol Pearl or a Sublime. Go on the stronger side of that category. Vince, we hit you, so ask away. It looks like you got a couple questions. Beautiful. We'll get you in just a second. Oh, it's just a ball recommendation? Okay, yeah. If you otherwise, yeah, sorry, I'm not bringing anyone up on like to discuss, Jeff. But if you want to try typing it, otherwise, yeah, DM might be your best. And is that a cherry playing card? Thank you for, what is that? Is that a shrimp? Can't tell if that's a shrimp or not. Thank you though so much for the gift. It looks like a shrimp with a heart. Jeff, thank you for the follow. Rocco, thank you for the follow. Vince, you have an Ion Max, but it got drilled over my track. I got a 300 with it already. Should I get it re-drilled? If you like the reaction, who cares? Then who cares? Then keep throwing it. If you don't like the reaction, you could, if it got drilled. I am curious what you mean by it got drilled over your track. What do you mean exactly, Vince? Let's see. And Cherry, bowled a tournament with a fresh 500 grit black hammer urethane against all lefties backing up. That's funny. One-handed bowler, is the stealth hybrid a good step up? Yep, absolutely it is. Let's see. Back bowl, especially with house shots. Rocco, what's your opinion or comment? Yep, we hit that one. Navy, the rush is good on all surfaces. Absolutely, it looks like it. What pads do you use to change surfaces, Tony? So the best ones are going to be Abralon pads, which you can find on Amazon. CTD pads, creating the difference, True Cut pads. They are very, very strong. So be very wary with using the 500 grit pad. The 1000 is also very, very tacky. So watch out for that. Otherwise, Abralon, True Cut. Now Vice has some new ones too that are really good. They're similar to True Cut. Yeah, Tony's, but I would check Amazon is a good spot. Bowler's Mart, your local pro shop might have some. A lot of options. Manu, thank you for the follow. Thank you. Let's see. Ivan, would an Optimum Idol, Attention Star, Magic Gem, and Zen be a good league bag? I like that league bag. That's a really good, like, stronger league bag. And back bowl, they also have a free regional staff and get discounts. Yes, if you want to be on staff on CTD, you just have to sign a form. There's no average requirement. I've seen people with like 130 averages be staff with them, and it's staff. It's a different staff program where you're not a professional bowler to be on it, and you're not getting a lot of free stuff. You're just really getting discounts. That's all, and you're not in any like exclusivity deals. All right, let's jump back over. We have a lot of comments over on the YouTube, but I got to drink some water because I've been talking a lot. But let's see. We are at Steph, who's asked, do you have a suggestion for a polish machine and a machine for surfacing with water? So there's a lot of options, Steph. I've seen a lot of creative things. In reality, a ball spinner is really just like a ball cup along with an engine to spin it, like with a just with a belt. So if you just have a belt and an engine, you're good to go. Otherwise, you can find pretty cheap ones just by Googling. All it needs to be is a ball spinner, and that's how you polish it, because when you polish it, you actually do that by hand. There is no machine that really does it. You just put polish onto a towel or a paper towel or something like that, and then as you're spinning the ball, you just rub it with that and you're good. So that's what I would recommend. There's a lot of good options out there. Kevin, burning up took me forever to recognize. It is one of the suckiest things with bowling, Kevin. It's one of the hardest things to understand, because like your eyes are telling you ball is not hooking that much, but then invisibly, is that a word? Probably, we're going with it. Invisibly, it is actually hooking too early, which is so annoying. It is so weird because it just doesn't make sense. It's so much easier to see it, I always like to use like, even, I don't know, would be another sport that we could use here. Like baseball, like, using a corked bat, ball goes further, obviously. But for bowling, it's like stronger ball doesn't always hook more. Very annoying. But Troy recently switched from 1 to 2-handed, slightly rev dominant. You've got an Ion Max NV Tour, super short pin, phase 2, absolute phase 5. So I do like a hustle rip in there. It'll be hard to find an ink Troy, but a rip is basically identical. Yeah, the rip is a really good ball to put in there because you have a lot of strong options and you're rev dominant. So I'd recommend some weaker options. Road Warrior, Hustle Rip, IQ Tour, things like that. Daniel, how does the Effect Tour match up with the Venom Shock? The Effect Tour is going to be much, much earlier. Also, thank you for the rose over on TikTok. I can't even see your username at all. Do you have a username? I think you're just blank. Spaces. We're going spaces. Blank spaces. No one queue up blank spaces. So the Effect Tour is actually much earlier and much smoother than the Venom Shock. David Price, I like my arsenal, but I feel like adding something because I need talent in a box. I agree. That always helps. What are 1 or 2 good low-key balls you think are amazing right now? Okay, let's go into this. All right. Low-key bowling balls that are going under the radar that are sleeper picks. I think the Intense Mindset, absolute sleeper pick. NV Tour Pearl, sleeper pick that just got discontinued. Absolutely fantastic bowling ball. The Max Thrills from Motive, amazing bowling balls. They aren't really well loved that much. We've got those. What's a Storm one that's going under the radar a lot? I think the S2 is going under the radar more than it should. Along with the Sublime Focus. I think the Sublime Focus and the no, I'm backing up. Summit Ascent. Summit Ascent is going under the radar way too much, and its sales are very, very low for zero reason. That ball is so good. It just got released at such a bad time. Those are my options. Yofo, why do you prefer roller bags without the shoe compartment? So I prefer it because the shoe compartment generally adds like $20 to $50 to the price. Not worth it. Absolutely not worth it. Now, if you're willing to drop that little bit of extra for it, absolutely. And then also a shoe compartment can't hold my accessory bag. It can't hold my Aberlon pads. Can't hold my what else do I have in my bag? My chamois, my towels, things like that. So I just always prefer a backpack. A backpack is just easier to haul things around in. Let's see. Revs on the left side. Vice pads are strong. Oh my God. So our guy who owns our pro shop, so I was going in yesterday for a shift. He was like, hey, I put on new Vice pads onto our ball spinner, onto a Haas machine. It's an automatic ball spinner. But what? Don't put it in there for long because I shaved off the logos on my Sublime, and I went in and I looked at the ball, and there is not a mark of Sublime on that ball anymore. It is just gone. It is like you can barely see 900 global, but Sublime, the words, gone. Those pads are so strong. It is wild. Hey, Chris, thank you for the 10K. Congratulations. Appreciate it. Thanks for the videos, help, and info. Absolutely. And with 10K, really what that does for you guys is it gives me more opportunities to get you guys good videos, because with 10K on TikTok, for anyone who doesn't know kind of how all that works, it monetizes the channel a little bit more and then gives me the opportunity to do some more shop things, and more companies will probably be reaching out to me the way it sounds, which is great because that means I can dump more back into the channel, which is awesome. NOV Innovations. You have a dark web solid and a Paragon Pearl. Thinking about adding a Scorpion Strike or an Anger. I would go Scorpion Strike. Well, actually Scorpion Strike or Anger, one of those two. And a suggestion for a ball or two down. So the Strike would be 1 ball down, Anger would be 2 balls down. And then as a solid, you could go like a Scorpion Low Flare, would be a ball down of your dark web solid. Let's see. Steph, you are welcome. All right, let's go back over to the TikToks. We got a lot of people. Thank you guys. We're almost at 3K likes on TikTok. We're at 24 likes on YouTube. Thank you guys all so much out there. Appreciate it. Let's see. Tony, you have an IQ Tour that you didn't like, but you needed something smooth and controllable. Good choice. Oh man, it reset everything. What do you do if your track goes in between your fingers? So if your track is in between your fingers, it means your ball roll is probably a little too up the back. So when you release a ball, you still need to go around it a little bit. You can't go completely through it and have that ball roll be right in between your fingers. It usually isn't the best. So you do still need to go around the ball a little bit. I just shook my entire TikTok screen. You're all apologies. Leafy, what are your thoughts on the Ruby IQ? I really like my Ruby IQ. It is my weak and sharp option if the lanes are absolutely toasted. So I really like it for that option. Back bowl, yeah, it could be pitches, it could be where the pin is also, but physically, that's what I would recommend trying to change. Vince, I like the reaction, but my coach said I should get it re-drilled because the ball, it rolls over your holes. Does that make it inconsistent? It can. It really depends how much. If it's just clipping one of them, it could be just your release, or it could be how it's drilled. I would recommend checking where your PAP is. So ask your coach if he can measure your PAP. He should be able to do that, hopefully. That would be my first recommendation. Tony, what do you do? Oh, we answered that one already. Make sure you understand the difference in each brand pads. Absolutely. Back bowl, yep. Juan, what layout would you run on the Heckler? So Juan, if you're a little more rev dominant, I would go something like a 4.5-inch pin and then keep the valve angle around 45. You don't want to make it too early or too late. That'll just keep it versatile to start. That ball should be very, very versatile. So I would recommend that. And Navy Guy, thank you for the Galaxy thingy. Yeah, it's just called Galaxy. Thank you so much. Let's see, Skyotic. What do you do when there's cliff? So what I do, there's a lot of options when there's a cliff. I'll give you guys all the options of when there's a cliff of what you could do. Now, one of these options generally works, and not all of them work though. So if you're in a situation where like your ball is hooking too much when you miss right, and it's not hooking enough when you miss left, a couple of the options you have are you could go to a duller bowling ball. You could just ball up actually to an asymmetric or a dull bowling ball. That should fix the reaction a little bit. If that doesn't, you can move left and try to throw it at the friction. So you try to your goal is then not miss right, but get it to the friction and let your ball go through the pins the right way. That's one option. The other option is actually bump up your speed and move right and play up the cliff, because then if you miss left, your ball's still not going to hook, but it will still hook just enough to get to the pocket. So those are 3 options I recommend. Rocco, one more question, ask away. Back bowl, yes. Regional staffers also get invited to private Facebooks. Yes, you can get free coaching. I believe they give stuff for like Easter and Christmas too. Toomey, do you think the Road Warrior would be a good weak sharp if my medium sharp is a mantra? Yes, those two will pair really well together, actually. The mantra and the Road Warrior pair very well, ironically, together, because the mantra is an asymmetrical pearl, but super, super weak. Whereas the Road Warrior is like a slightly weaker, but middle of the road shiny pearl ball. All right. Let's see. What ball is great for high rev, low speed on light oil? You're going to need something super, super weak. You're going to need something like a Hustle or a Vibe or even a Hammer Raw will be good. And Rocco will answer this, and we'll jump back over to the YouTube chat. If you don't wear a wrist support and you start to wear one, do you have to re-drill all your stuff? No, absolutely not. Will it change your roll a little bit? Yes, probably, but not much, Rocco. It really won't change it an insane amount. All right. Let's jump back over to the YouTube chat. We are at, I think, Rev Challenged. You are up. I wonder, yep, you hit it. Oh, that's awesome. One-handed, 205 average bowler looking to try two-handed. Suggestions on what Storm brand balls to start with on this new journey. Steph, thank you for the donut. Thank you, thank you. Wait, what is that? What did that do? That did something. Donut is up in my gift gallery. Anyone who sends the gift will contribute 150% live fest points. Cool. Thanks, Steph. Okay, so what should you have? 205 average looking to, if you're trying two-hand, and a tiny diny from Maribeth. Thank you. I would recommend I would go a Hustle. You better start low because I'm guessing you're going to be more rev dominant if you're switching to two-handed. And Maribeth with the 5 roses. Thank you. Thank you. Also, Maribeth, who is the, what did you just post? You were the premier bowler of, I'm going to find it on Insta quick. Am I on? I hope I have it on Instagram. Give me just a second. I will find it. I need a showcase. Maribeth Baker, who is the, drum roll, please. Who is the, yeah, what? Oh, did you not? Where'd it go? Oh, the NEC Prime Performer for like 4 weeks straight. Congratulations. With 3 more dolphins. Thank you. Duma Balrog. Is Ion Pro, IQ Emerald, and White Dot a good 3-ball arsenal? Yes, it's going to be very weak, Duma. I'm just going to call you Balrog. I like saying Balrog so much better. I love Balrog. Oh, that's great. 4-time Prime Performer. Yes, congratulations. Yes, it's a very weak 3-ball arsenal because the Ion Pro is not that strong. Same with the IQ Emerald, but it does work. Absolutely. Deeron, what ball is best for high rev and low speed on light? Yep, we just kind of hit that. Jer Bear Gaming. Current bag is an Ion Max Attention Star S2 Origin Sublime Focus Phase AI Road Warrior. You have a really good bag. That is a fantastically made bag, Jer Bear. Nice job. And Maribeth with 35 roses. Oh my God, thank you. Wow, that's a lot. Sheesh. Tommy, what would be a good weak sharp ball for you? You throw it 18, about 400 revs, and weak smooth as a 2er. I'd go Ruby. I would honestly go an IQ Ruby. D1s with a just chillin'. They already added that as a gift. Oh my God, I love that. Thank you so much. And Steph with the cap. We are not capping. Come on. But thank you for the cap. And it throws it on. Oh, that is beautiful. That is a great hat. My hair is all over the place because I couldn't get in for a haircut in the last week. So I need that. Yofo, your channel is awesome and going to blow up. Oh, thank you, man. Appreciate that. Dondrick, I love SPI and I've been a fan for a while, but I think from top to bottom, Hammer is the best brand in bowling at the moment. Ooh, Maribeth, close your ears. You know, if you had to look, so when I was making my top 5, I have a bunch of top 5 videos coming out that I mentioned earlier, and hey, thank you, Colin, for the congrats on the 10K. Really appreciate it. You helped with that a bunch, so thank you. So looking top to bottom at all the releases this year, Hammer did win. Hammer had the best releases. There weren't really any, I still have it up. There really weren't any that Hammer wasn't great with. They had what was their worst release of the year? I don't think they really had one. I think the Hazmat was probably their last like meh release. It's still a good ball, but this year they absolutely were great. They were dominant. Storm and SPI had really good balls too come out this year. Don't get me wrong, but I think Hammer was amazing this year. Let's see. Yofo, do you have any experience with the polish kits where the polish pad is attached to a hand drill to polish the ball? What? And the ball is placed on a ball cup or spinner? I have 0 experience with that, Yofo. I have never tried that. It sounds really good though. I bet it would work. Hey, Maribeth, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, hit 10K last night, late last night. I tried staying up for it. It was like 11:15, but I had to get up at 5:45 for work. So unfortunately, I missed the official moment. Vincent, my current three ball arsenal is a TNT, a Nova, and a Cosmos. You're replacing your Nova because that has 500 games. Sheesh. Do you have a suggestion? What's close to a Nova right now? I'd say a Tension Star S2. That's probably the closest ball to a Nova right now. Let's see, Michael. I have a Melee Jab Carbon and a Venom Shock, and it has the exact same layout. I always shoot score with my jab, but my Venom never seems to see the mids. Your Venom, it might be seeing it too early, Michael. It might be seeing it just a little too early. So I would try it on more oil to see what happens. Revs, should I try the Power Edge polish on your rip? I like the Power Edge right now. I tried it on an Infinite Physics where it looked good. I tried it on the AI after I messed with the surface a little bit and it looked good. I tried it with the Ruby and it looked really good. So yeah, I'd recommend it. All right, and Zach Oaks, looking for something that will get some motion down lane for the misses. Low rev, around 14 ball speed down lane. Has a TNT with some Power Edge I hit it with. What ball would get more motion? Low rev, 14-mile-an-hour speed. I'd go with something a little stronger, like a phase 2. I think might give you a little bit more miss room. All right, let's go back over to TikTok chat. We have a lot of stuff going on here. So let's see. Do you think, where were we at? We were at Navy, where you have a rush, a star, and a strike. How should you line them up? It should go star into, oh no, sorry. It should go rush into star into strike, Navy. So rush, star, strike. And you're a 2-finger one hand. Yep, that fits perfectly then. Back bowl. Yep, we hit those. Nick, do you think the Heckler is going to be really good for no thumb bowlers? I think it will be. I really do think it's going to be great for that. I am very excited for it. It looks good. It looks better than I expected. My hopes were a little lower than they probably should have been. Jeff, you sent me a DM. Perfect. I'll check that out after, Jeff. Thank you. Seth, are you staffed by any companies? I am not. I am not staffed by any companies. Very much whatever you want to call it, free agent, unaffiliated, whatever phrase you want to use. But and I'm not trying to be exclusive with any company either. That will not be happening anytime soon. Would I like to get some bowling balls to review for the 10,000 of you on TikTok and the 4,000 of you on YouTube? Absolutely. But there will be no exclusivity coming. Do you want to be staffed? Oh, God. I mean, if it's with, now jerseys is a different story. Bowling balls, yes. Jerseys, whole different story. Jerseys, shoes, those are like Turbo versus Vice. Like that's a different story. Bowling balls, though, I never want to try going exclusive. I still want to be able to tell you guys the best things. Tatum, I had a funny league night. Couldn't strike with Storm's best ball, the phase 2, but struck with their worst with the road. Hey, that happens. I've had people, there are plenty of people I know, some amazing bowlers, regional title winners who can't throw the phase 2. They despise it, hate it with a passion. It is hilarious. Shout out Brady if you're out there. I think he still hates his. They absolutely just do not like the phase 2, but they love other balls. So it happens, and they love some of the good ones. Like I think this guy loves the Helios, adores the Idol Helios, hates the phase 2. It's super funny. Super funny. And the real Dwayne, thank you for the follow. Sean, what's a good ball up to pair with your Hazmat Solid? Black Widow 3.0 is a really good one. Effect Tour could be really good with it. If you're willing to go outside of Hammer, the Mesmerize, I think, is one of the best bowling balls of the year. Maybe even a top 5 bowling ball of the strong, smooth category. Wink, wink. Video coming Sunday, noon. Go check it out. Unless you're a member, then you can watch it already on YouTube. Steve thought on the GB5 for the top of the bag. It is a very good and strong bowling ball. So yes, it can be top of the bag. Tony, how's my bag? You have a purple, a new blue, a sneak attack, a venom shock, a pride, and outer limits. You have a ton of solid balls, Tony. Ton of solid bowling balls. So you could sneak in a shiny ball like a hyper venom or a scorpion strike or a road warrior and you'll be good. Navy, appreciate your answers. Absolutely. I think we hit best ball for high revs and low speed. It'll have to be a hustle. Dwayne J started bowling in the league. Everyone tells me I have higher revs. What's a good 3-ball arsenal? So Tony, I actually have Dwayne, I have a video on YouTube and on TikTok for a high or a rev dominant arsenal. So go check that out. Generally, you're going to want weaker bowling balls in general. I say general a lot. Holy cow. I'm just noticing that. Sometimes when you talk too much or a lot, you realize like the words you say all the time, like people that say a lot don't really notice it that much, but I'm noticing it with generally. Mac, thank you for the how many lightning bolts? We're at 40, 46, 48, 50. Thank you for 50 lightning bolts, Mac. Appreciate it. Parker, anything I should change in my bag? A gem, a theorem, a super GT, a new blue, a Vibo, and a mix. I don't think so. No, I think you don't have really a lower end solid ball, Parker. So that would be the next one I'd go for. Maribeth, yes, Wednesday night. I'm so behind on chat. Oh my God, I gotta fly through this stuff, man. Let's see. Steph, howdy, howdy. Thank you for jumping in, Steph. Thanks for the help with the two-handed pitches. Of course, absolutely. So to bring this is why, because I go into so much depth on every question. I'm really noticing that. Apologies, guys. I will get to every comment, I promise. I promise all of you I will get there. Just you'll have to stay a little bit patient because we are behind. Also, Cruz with 35 roses. Thank you so much. What we did with Steph was there were some issues. I believe it was with some calluses and blisters, right, Steph? If I'm remembering right, but there were issues with the pitches. So for a two-hander, well, we're going to back up. When you put your fingers into a bowling ball, so there's pitches that you can drill them at to give you more comfort or less comfort. So Steph's pitches were drilled very, very straight for a two-hander, but your finger doesn't really want to bend much if it's drilled straight down. So what you do for a two-hander is you actually have a lot of away pitch so that they can actually get their hand on the bowling ball, where if there's not much pitch, you see the fingers are very bent, and then it causes a lot of issues, a lot of injuries. So if you're getting a lot of injuries on your fingers, that might be a reason. Hey, Jaden, thank you so much for the congrats. Appreciate it. Rocco, you are welcome. Maribeth, 4-time prime performer. Show off. Steph, two-handed, 490 rev, 15 mile an hour on the monitor. What clean ASIM should I get between the Innovator Solid and the Hazmat? I would go... So none of those will be clean ASIMs by any means, but I would go with a Hazmat because you are so rev dominant. Hyperboy, you have a Supernova and a Forge Nuclear. So the Supernova is going to be a smooth, strong ball, and the Nuclear is going to be a strong, sharp ball. Colin, yes, Colin, thank you. Maribeth, 10K, you deserve it, Zach. Thank you, Maribeth, appreciate it. Colin, no problem at Alley for League today. Wanted to say congrats. Thank you. Sean, Effect Tour, the OG Effect. It depends what you need them for, Sean. You're needing a ball sharp at the end, so go Original Effect. Yes, our OG Effect is going to be better. Dill Red, hello, hello. Vibo or Coil? Both are good. It depends if you need a smoother ball. If you need more smoothness, I'd actually go Vibo. Parker, Tuya, Rocco, did you hear about Brunswick picking up Motive? No. I don't. Is that actually, someone else confirmed that? I doubt that's going to happen. Motive seems to be very happy where they're at, but I feel like Brunswick wouldn't want to pick up 8 different brands either. So let me know. That would be intriguing. That's a good thought experiment to think about that. That would be wild. Let's see. Mac, was the high speed a good ball? It was kind of slept on. It was one of the better speed bowling balls. And then all of the gifts that everybody sent. Thank you, Maribeth, Steph, and D-Wands. Juan, thank you for the follow. Rocco adding them? Interesting. I'm going to look into that, Rocco. Opinions on the Night Road SE. I don't even know what ball that is. Storm Night Road SE. Is it overseas? It is overseas. What is it? It is just a Pearl, R2S Pearl. Oh, it's literally just it's a high road Pearl. Yeah, it's just a high road Pearl. That's all. And then Maribeth, do you want to be staffed? Yeah, you know, I feel like I sell more stuff than a lot of staffers just doing this. And I feel like a lot of social media sell more stuff than a lot of staffers. So that's a conversation we kind of had last week, and I love going into. I've had it with a lot of people lately. Let's see. All right, Parker, we will get to yours in a second. We're going to jump back over to YouTube because we got a lot of stuff going on the YouTube. We have a lot of comments over there. Thank you guys. I'm going to hit all of them. Here we go. We're going to starting with Zach. Oh no, we hit Zach. Just kidding. We're starting with Philip. I missed the bus, but what does ZVL stand for? Philip, that is my initials. So first name, middle name, last name. It's just my initials. I'm not very creative by any means, but I really like a logo I could make with ZVL, and I think it's very unique because my middle name is Virgil, and there aren't many V middle names, aren't many V names in general. E. Pritch, looking for a third ball. You have a vaporize and a sensor solid. I would go something below the vaporize, like a Scorpion Strike or a Theorem Pearl even would be pretty good. A little boy. Love the channel. Currently have a Proton Physics, Dark Code, Ion Pro, Zen, Messenger Power Core Pearl. Weak Smooth. I would go Arctic Vibe as an option. Ion Pro is already really weak. You might have to go like a Hustle X-Ray. I think a Hustle X-Ray will be best. Let's see. Hey, Kiefer, what's going on, man? Nice bowling lacrosse. Thank you. Thank you. I didn't know how to bowl on a sport shot, but I was really good on the house shot. Shot 750 on the house shot. 279 game 1 with a stone 8. And then I couldn't strike on the sport shot and shot 550. It was great. Love it. With a 157 in there. Very bad 157. Jerbear, I do it, it works. Revs on the left side. I think the kit's for polish. Your ball works great. Good. Johnny, my shop is having a sale. They have hustles for 70. Johnny, the rip is going to be the best one. Just in general, I'd go rip. D-Ron, yep, we hit the Night Road SE. Miguel, anything you think may complement my arsenal of an Atlas Solid, Super CUDA, and a Vibe? Something shiny and bigger. Vaporize or a Scorpion Strike or a Beyond Infinity, something like that, Miguel. And thank you for the congratulations. Appreciate that. Playful movement. How does the weather affect the oil on the lanes? So I haven't been bowling too long. I'm noticing that my Rhino hooked like a monster over the summer. Yeah, so I've noticed that lanes get a little tighter and feel patterns feel heavier in the winter compared to the summer. So I can't get a ball to hook as much in the winter compared to the summer. So like when I'm practicing on my home lanes, like on the fresh, I can throw weak stuff and be fine. Right now, weak doesn't look very good on our house shot. Check. Hey everyone, what's going on? Check. Ricardo, which is best to use for a house shot and sport patterns between the Ion Pro and the Tour? I think the Ion Pro for both, Ricardo. It's going to look better for both to start. And then you'll go to the IQ after the Ion Pro isn't looking good. I have a DVA hater. Do I need a mesmerize? Revs? I don't think so. I just keep the hater for now. Jorge, what's your favorite ball of the year? Scorpion Low Flare. Absolutely. After this weekend, 100% the Scorpion Low Flare is my goat. And happy holidays. Hey, thanks to you. Thanks. Same to you, man. Bob, I just got the Black Widow 3.0 and the Strike. Nice. That is awesome. Love that. Tokyo, who do you think is going to buy the Twins? That's a good question. So for anyone who doesn't know, I'm from Minnesota and the Twins are now up for sale. So if you guys want to go in with me to buy them, let me know. We need I think a couple billion probably. But I think we can do that. There's a handful of us out there. So we could scrap that together. I have no idea, Tokyo. I'm hoping somebody who really cares about the org, but I never know with those things. Omar, I want to, D1's getting ready for League. Yeah, thanks for hanging in, D1's. Appreciate it. Good luck at League. Good luck. Bowl well. Shoot a nice little 700 for me. Omar, I want to order bowling balls. I'm from the United Arab Emirates, and Bowlers Mart does not ship here. Ooh. Who has international shipping? You're going to have to Google that because I'm not positive, honestly. I don't know which of the online retailers actually does overseas. There might be some Korean companies or Japanese companies that could help out with that. Those might be the best international ones. Not positive, though. Christopher, two-handed, need help with pulling left. So that means you're muscling it too much, Chris. So you're pulling it down from the top of the swing, way too hard, and that means you're going to pull it every time. Parker, I came over from TikTok. You already talked about my bag. What ball would you recommend to add? Uh-oh, Parker, you're gonna have to re-put in what you have. Do that on the YouTube chat and I'll get to it. Sorry, there's just too many comments on the TikTok side to be able to find it again. Let's see. Little boy, you're thinking either IQ Tour or Hustle? Yes, both good options. I'd probably go Hustle over IQ, but mainly because it's also cheaper. Miguel, funny you say Beyond. You like the Beyond. Good. Perfect. If you like it already, I'd go with that. Bowl with the Rock. Thank you for the follow on TikTok. Appreciate it. Don, what's going on, Don? Oh, watching from Cabo, Ken? Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, that sounds tough. Man. 80 degrees, that's brutal. I'm sorry for you. It's, it's a nice brisk 20 here, so be jealous. It's great. Love it. PBJ Delight, congrats on getting closer to 4K. Thank you. Appreciate it. I'm wondering what you recommend for someone who has a Hammer Ghost, looking to get a second ball. It's 90% house shots. I would go with something medium and dull then, like a Summit Ascent. If you want to stick with Hammer, go with a low flare. Scorpion low flare will be a good option, which is also cheap right now. All right, there you go, Parker. It's Gem. Oh, I think we hit this one. Gem, Super GT, Theorem, Vibo. Yeah, so you have a big gap between your strong, shiny, your Theorem, and the Super GT, so that's an option, but the bigger hole, I think, is a smooth ball below the Gem. So I would go with something like a Phase 2, Summit Ascent, something like that. All right, let's jump back over. Oh, I was just about to hit it, Parker. Whoops, my bad. All right. Let's see. We are going back to TikTok. Thank you all so much for all the likes. We are at 31 likes over on YouTube right now with 52 of you hanging in. Appreciate that. Thanks for spending your Thanksgiving Eve with me. Over on TikTok, we have 4,500 likes. Thank you all out there. Really appreciate it. Make sure to drop a sub or a sub or a follow. There we go. If you haven't already, it would be really appreciated. Helps me out a ton and helps me get all of this lovely content out to you guys in a quicker way with a little more money behind it, because that always helps. All right, back over to the TikToks. Where are we at? Cobra, what should I use as my backup to my 3.0? Maybe symmetrical hazmat solid is a good option. Otherwise, Scorpion low flare again is another good option. Let's see. We are at Tony. My bag carries a Mindset, Phase 2, Extreme Envy, IQ Tour, Pearl. You might need a stronger shiny ball, Tony. So you don't have many stronger shiny balls. The IQ Ruby is a little bit weak. Rocco, thank you for the tiny diny. So I would go with it looks like you have a mix of companies. So I would go Scorpion Strike or Road Warrior or even a Phase AI will be good. Let's see, where are we at? Let's see, we hit Tony. Jaden, thank you for the congrats on 10K. Roy, I went 725 with a harsh solid. Appreciate your input. Oh, absolutely, Roy, you're welcome. Hyperboy, you are welcome. We have all of the gifts from Matt, Cruz, and D1s. Thank you all. Easy, thank you for the follow. Back bowl, they did just reapply for Columbia Radical and Track, I believe. Oh, you mean they didn't reapply? Yes, they did not reapply. Yeah, so they will not be on the logo. There will not be any traces of the logos for Columbia 300, Radical, or Track this year. On the tour. Navy, do you believe my bag, Raptor, Rush, Kenshin Star, and Strike? Yeah, I think that's pretty balanced. I really like that bag, Navy. Kiefer, that sport shot was brutal if you followed the wrong pair. Oh my God, yes, absolutely. I don't know if any of them are here, but the guys who were in front of me decided 500 grit up the middle of the lane was a great idea. And they can make a ball go a lot more than me. And it completely fried our second pair. Absolutely torched them. Game 1, they were already playing way in. And then they moved out for game 2, but then kind of came back in during it. And it was just terrible. It just ruined our pair completely, which kind of sucked. Made it really tough for someone like me who was more speed dominant and had a lower rev rate. It just was rough. D1s, we hit 24 SVN. Will the Phase AI be good in my bag? You have a IQ Tour, Attention Star, and Rip. Yes, it will. I really like that in your bag. We have Drew. Take a guess on what I shot in the league tonight. 649. 649, final answer. Kenny, is the low flare medium smooth or medium sharp? I would say medium smooth, Kenny. And is it a good recommendation as a one ball arsenal? I think it could be. Do you know anything about the Columbia 300 Jinx from '06? I do not, Jude. I'm sorry. I do not at all. Let's see. Bowl with Rock. Thank you for the follow again. You mostly use the Hustle because everything else is too strong. In that case, I would go with a Road Warrior 24. I would go with a Road Warrior instead because it's a little weaker. It'll be a little more usable. Sad Hub, what is the best bowling ball for a starter? I would go with a Hammer Raw or a Brunswick Twist or a Brunswick Rhino or a Storm Tropical Surge. Those will be your best options. And then, yeah, you are welcome, man. All right. We are actually caught up on that side. So let's do a quick catch up on YouTube. Let's see. We had Playful. Oh, Little Boy, I've missed yours. such a weird name to say, man. It is such a weird name. Also, my friend, I love it, but it's just weird to say. My friend is having trouble placing his ball strength-wise. He has a Summit Ascent, a Phase Shift, an Absolute, and an X-Ray. What the hell is the Phase Shift? I know it's overseas. What? Oh, it is beautiful. Oh my God, that thing's gorgeous. Oh, it's solid. Okay, so it's TX23 solid. Got it. So I would go Phase Shift is top of the bag, Ascent is below it, Absolute is the shiny ball off of the shift, and then the X-Ray is going to be bottom of the bag, would be my thoughts. Playful, how much of a step down is the Widow 2.0 from the 3.0? How does it compare to all the new releases in its category? So I see the 2.0 as a just very slightly weaker option than the 3.0, but it is much smoother. The 2.0 is much, much smoother than the 3.0. Revs on the left, Motive didn't sell to Brunswick. Okay, just wanted some verification just to make sure. I didn't think so. I feel like that would have been absurd news. Even if it's behind the scenes, that would have leaked by now because I think people knew about the Brunswick one pretty early, like a week or two ahead. Maybe something in the new year is cooking. I don't know. I'm not in the bowling news realm as much as some other people who have some connections. I don't have as many connections in that way. What would you add to his bag? Oh, he had what? Phase Shift, Summit Ascent, Absolute, X-Ray. I would go with like a Road Warrior. I think the Road Warrior is a good addition. Yofo, you have 400 plus games on a ball I've never cleaned other than wiping it with a rag. It doesn't hook anymore. I would recommend a Rejuvenation along with a resurface, Yofo. Then you'll be good. Rejuvenation is extracting the oil from it. Brian, I finally upgraded my arsenal. You have a Pitch Black, a Misfit, an Exotic Gem, an Axiom, and a Quantum Spare. You have, let's see, Misfit, an Exotic Gem, an Axiom, and a Spare. I would recommend some kind of shinier ball. So you kind of have all over the place. Road Warrior or a Scorpion Strike would be my top options right now. Christopher, thank you for the tip. You are welcome. Trying to like the Sub-Zero, but you just don't. Any options to replace it? I would recommend shining it first, polishing it before you get rid of it. But otherwise, if you want to replace it, I would go with like an Ion Max. I would try an Ion Max over it this time. Charmaine, what do you think about your arsenal? Idle Pearl, Vibo, Hammer Effect Tour, White Rhino, a Gem, and an Absolute Power. I think the only spot you're missing is like medium shiny. If you have a medium shiny ball, you'll be good, Charmaine. All right. Jorge, are you one-handed or two-handed? I am one-handed. I'm a one-handed bowler. I wish I was two-handed. 313. You're a beginner high schooler two-hander with more speed, less revs. You have a stealth hybrid, a twist, and a T-zone. Need a twist replacement. I would go Hustle M&M. Hustle M&M or a Pearl Raw will be your two best bets. Justin, Vibo versus the Origin. Low rev lefty looking for a ball down from the Gem for a house shot. Looking for a ball down from the Gem. The Vibo, I think, is going to be a little better for you, Justin. It's going to be a little weaker. The Origin is strong. If you want a ball that's going to hook a bunch, go with the Origin. It'll make you definitely not seem like a low rev lefty. Chris, thank you for the super chat of the birdie with a thumbs up. $3. Thank you so much, Chris. Appreciate it. Joseph, you just bought an Effect Tour, Effect and Hazmat Solid to pair with your Strike. Ooh, that is an awesome, awesome combo. I like that a lot. Roby Acosta, you're a two-handed lefty, IQ 78, Ion Pro, and Effect. Any suggestions? I would go with either a weaker shiny ball like a Ivory Rhino or a Road Warrior, or I'd go with a stronger smooth ball like a Phase 2 or a Sublime Focus. Yofo, what's the strongest ASIM solid on the market? The Mesmerize. The Brunswick Mesmerize will be number 1. And check. Arsenal is a Max Bias, Ion Pro, Ruby, Pearl, Proton, Fate. PSO is suggesting an AI. I would agree with your PSO. I like that a lot. It will be different than your Fate, just enough though. The other option is an Attention Star. That one's amazing right now. All right, let's jump back over to we're gonna jump back over to TikTok quick, see where we're at. We are at Weekos. Hey, it's Tiana. Threw the new Ricochet for 654. Nice. More and more people are liking that ball, which is good to see. I really like to see that. 24, happy holidays. Thanks. Same to you. Jude, where do you think the blue hammer would go? You have the harsh reality, the effect, and the extreme envy, and the theorem, and the track. So that is going to be the weakest ball in your bag. Weakest and smoothest by a lot. Josh, I'm going to bowl a tournament in 2 hours. Do I hit the all-in button? How confident are you in this tournament, Josh? On a scale of 1 to 10, how confident? And what are you bowling on? Justin, I have a Gold Raptor, the Effect Tour, and a Vogue. You average 244. Nice. That is really awesome. Bowl with rock, sorry. I have Ion Pro, IQ Ruby, and a purple. I think you need a solid. I would go with a slightly stronger solid, like a Phase 2 or a Sublime Focus. I think will be good options. Our bowls, you are speed dominant two-hander in high school. Do you think an Anger would look good? Yes, I think it would. I think the Anger will look really, really good, especially being two-hander. You could play a little bit straighter with it. And user, you need to add a ball to your bag. You have a spare ball and a hustle. Oh, and a summit, a DNA coil, and an evoke. I would go a Road Warrior because it looks like you like Storm. So I'd go Road Warrior or I'd just go Road Warrior. And Tom Hensel, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. All right. We are caught up on TikTok chat. Back over to the YouTube chat. We're at Don. I believe the Max Bias is the strongest ASIM. Oh, you are right, Don. My bad. My bad. Yes, the Max Bias is definitely number 1, or it's that and the Mesmerize in a 1-2 slot. Very, very close together. Watson, do you think bowling one hand, no thumb is sustainable? Yeah, you have to be strong. You have to be very strong, Watson, because it is a lot of pressure on your wrist and forearm. I would recommend making the switch, but making the switch puts a little more pressure on your back. So there's pros and cons to it. Pros and cons. Charmaine needs some medium shiny balls. Yes, Scorpion Strike, Road Warrior. We have Phase AI. We have Optimum Idol Pearl. We have Primal Rage Evolution and a Hyper Venom. Those would be my options. And handily, is the Attention Star S2 and Sublime a good league punch, 1-2 punch? Yes, it is. Absolutely. Chris, got to go feed the kids. Congrats on the subs. Hey, thank you, Chris. Good luck and be kind to each other. Thank you so much. Appreciate you hanging out and appreciate dropping the super chat. See you on the next one. That's a name I'm not going to read off because TikTok won't like it. It's about toes, though. How does the Road Warrior compare to the Fireball? The Road Warrior is going to be much earlier, but pretty similar down lane motion. And Jorge, why is the Crimson Jackal so expensive? So Motive bumped up their prices a couple months ago on all of their equipment, and their asymmetrical balls are just super, super high right now. They are just very, very expensive. More expensive than any other company at the moment. Storm's catching up, but they are still the most expensive. So we had a couple come through on TikTok. Gotta make sure I have enough water. I have to make a 2.5-hour drive after this. I'm not looking forward to it. It is not going to be a fun drive in the slightest. In the slightest. Let's see. G-Man, what's a good hammer combo? I really like the Effect Tour into the Scorpion Low Flare right now. That's my 1-2 combo. I like that one a little bit better. YouTube, I apologize. I just saw that we have the phone like very slightly in the cam. So just ignore the bottom right of the screen. Ignore the man behind the curtain. Weekos. The Ricochet looks so much like the jab. I think it'll be good. I think it'll be as good as people see it on the lane. Good. That's a good sign. I like to hear that. Our bowls, you have the Mesmerize, Effect Tour, IQ Tour, Hitter Pearl, Criterion, and an Anger. Whoa, that's a lot. I really like that though. That's a really good arsenal. Good job, our bowls. You did a good job with that. And Jason, Berserk. Agreed. Toes, I'll get you one of these days. No, you won't. I have a really good filter when I'm on live. When I'm not on live, look out. It's not, there is no filter. There is no filter at all. Clifton, thank you so much. Joe, speed dominant and a stroker. If I were to fill out the weaker end of my arsenal, what would you choose? I go from Scorpion Strike to a Raw. I like those for your weaker side. If you need some smoother balls, go with an Arctic vibe. The radioactive will actually be on sale now for quite a while, so that's an option too. Otherwise, the Hustle X-Ray could fit well too, Joseph. And Jorge, if you had to pick, what brand would you get a contract for? That's really hard. I would generally say Storm SPI brands, but I have had the most success with my hammer equipment lately. I don't have many other Brunswick balls. Hey, Rock, thank you for the follow. I think I would still go SPI. Well, between SPI and B7, I don't know. They're both fantastic right now. They're doing really well. Motive just doesn't have enough options, in my opinion. They would be great. I do love Motive stuff. Don't get me wrong, but there's a lot. Yeah, a lot of options. I don't know. I don't know if I can answer that, Jorge. It's between the two. It's really hard. Generally, I would say SPI, but I really like the Brunswick stuff right now that I'm throwing. It just scores better for me. And I don't know. It's just how it is. Don, as far as energy drinks go, I like the Green Monster. Oh, Don, don't worry. I have a fridge of energy drinks right next to me, like 4 feet away this way, that has plenty of caffeine to blow my heart into smithereens. So we are good to go. We're good to go on that front. We have Rain, we have Monster, we have Ghost, come. I would love a Ghost sponsorship. That would be awesome. Let me check. We have Alani. We have G Fuel. We have more Alani. Also, we have a Greek one. Check this. This one's wild. I had a friend who just had his honeymoon in Greece, and it is an energy drink that's just called Hell. Everything else is in Greek. Can't read it. It's called Hell. It's red currant grapefruit. It has vitamins B2, 3, 5, 6, and 12. It is also like 200. Oh, it's 200 milligram. Actually, does it say how much caffeine? I don't think it says how much caffeine is in it, but it's a tiny can and it's terrifying. He brought me 2 of them. I had one and I drink a lot of caffeine, so caffeine doesn't affect me. And that one made me like start jittering. It was wild. All right, let's see. Brian, is the exotic gem considered a strong and sharp ball? Yes, it is. It is in that spot. Sea Lance, I'd pick Elite. What is Elite? Anthony, is the Hammer 3.0, the Dark Web and the Hater and the coil, that's the blue coil, a good arsenal? 3.0, Dark Web, Hater. It's a lot of smoother stuff, so I would recommend something a little shinier, like a Scorpion Strike, like an Ivory Rhino, something like that. Jeff, the Criterion is very, very good. Very good. Joseph, Christmas around the corner, Arsenal build with green and red balls. I like that idea a lot, Jeff. So you guys are aware, come check out the YouTube page, and I believe I have it on the TikTok page also tomorrow. I'm going to have an animal-only Arsenal in honor of Thanksgiving. Let me see. Red and blue Arsenal. See, the problem is, so to be transparent, and I hope Bowler's Paradise is listening to this, because I had a viewer recommend, like, hey, you should make an arsenal of just a certain color bowling ball. I'm like, yes, I love that so much. But then like a week later, as I was getting the video prepped, Bowler's Paradise came out with an only blue bowling ball video. And I didn't want to seem like I'm snagging content, so I didn't make it yet. I wanted to wait a while, but for the record, so it's on record, I was not trying to steal his idea in the slightest. but that was an idea that a viewer gave me and I wanted to do it and then couldn't. But we will soon. But the red and green I like a lot. Bowling Prodigy. If I had to get a 9th ball, what should I get? Oh, it's Jude from TikTok. Hey, perfect. You have the Harsh Pearl, Hammer Effect, Extreme Envy, Track Theorem. Oh boy, that's a lot of balls. All right, we're gonna have to read that without. Oh boy, one more time. Harsh Reality Pearl and an Effect with an Extreme Envy, and a Theorem, and a Paragon Hybrid, and a Jinx, and a Blue Hammer. I would go with something symmetric. You're gonna need something symmetric like a Scorpion Low Flare because it looks like you really like the Brunswick brands. Or a GB5 or a Hazmat Solid. Sea Lance, I've had a Russian energy drink and vodka mix. Jaguar, very Gopnik. Oh boy, I can't imagine. Dawn, so much caffeine, absolutely. Sea Lance, Elite isn't registered anymore at the PBA, still USBC certified though. But Bowler's Paradise is the only place where they're still sold. Oh, interesting. Dawn, Crimson Jackal and Crypto. I don't think the Crypto Boom is green. Isn't the Crypto Boom purple and blue, Dawn? I think that one's purple and blue. The original Crypto is green. T-Ghost, no urethane on dry lanes. Correct. Yes. All right. Let's jump back over. We have a lot of stuff over on the over on TikTok. Weekos, are you bowling Ryan's tournament in Little Falls on Sunday? I am not, Tiana. I am bowling in I'm bowling in the team tournament in Minneapolis. So I will be in the team challenge instead. Jason, you look a lot like the YouTuber Berserk. Looking it up right now. YouTuber Berserk. Let's see. Do I? Please be a really attractive dude. Oh, okay. I can see it. I can see it. I was. Hey, thank you, Tiana. Have a good night too. Our bowls, the Criterion is my favorite ball of all time. People are really liking it. Really, really liking it. Monkey, what are we thinking on the Nova, Supernova, and DNA? I hated the DNA. I don't mind the Nova and Supernova. They're just kind of weird. They're like middle to weaker ASIMs. Isaiah, you have an Ion Pro, Ion Max, and the Idol Pearl. What should I add to the arsenal? I would go with an Attention Star to go above that Idol Pearl. I think that'll be really good. Rock. Hey, thank you, Rock, for the follow. What's your favorite bowling ball by Storm? New or old? Phase 2. 100% the Phase 2 is by far and away my favorite Storm ball. What would be up there with it? I'm trying to think of some older. I haven't thrown many older Storm bowling balls. Phase 2, I would put the... trying to look what I have. Ooh, I'd put the IQ Emerald on there too. Motive doesn't have a weak enough ball. Yeah, the Max Thrills are still really strong back bowl. You are right. Matthew, what do you think of the Phase 3? I like the Phase 3. I threw a 300 with it when it came out. Overall, though, not many people liked it. It is a really good ball. I think it's a good ball. It's just very, very sharp, but also pretty early. Back bowl, maybe Berserk looks like me. Nah, Berserk has a lot of, let me just look it up again. How many did he have? Berserk has 2.25 million subscribers. So I would say I look like him compared to him looking like me. He wins. He's been doing that for a minute. Monkey, based off them, what should I get next? I really like the DNA and the Nova. If you like the DNA and Nova, I would go in XL if you want something similar. If you don't want something similar, go with the Summit Ascent. Isaiah, you were thinking Attention Star or Phase 2? Yeah, there's your comment. Yeah, I would go Attention Star. I think Attention Star. And Spud, love your content. Favorite bowling ball? Phase 2 right now is the Scorpion Low Flare, though. The Low Flare is my #1 ball at the moment. And Ruben, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. All right, we have a couple more on the YouTube side. Let's see. Where were we at? Brian, you have a Harsh Reality, Attention Star, Phase 2, Tour Solid. Looking for a shiny ball for middle. Road Warrior or a Phase AI are going to be your best options. Monty, what is the best ball this year? Ooh, Monty, I don't think there's a best ball in general, but I have some videos coming out for the top 5 bowling balls from all of our different types, all of our different categories. There's a lot of really cool bowling balls on there. So I will not spoil that because the videos will be coming out in the next 3 weeks. Like one of them drops Sunday, for example. Let's see. Joseph, Bowler's Paradise did that as a hit 10K subs. Oh, okay. That was a sub thing. That makes sense because he hasn't done it since. So I was kind of waiting to see, like, is he going to make that a series or not? But since he didn't, I think I will probably start doing that again then. Hopefully people understand that, like, I'm not trying to step on toes. And if he hits me up and is like, hey, I did that first, don't do that, I will probably like agree. But yeah, we'll probably have some videos coming out with that. We're trying to make more fun Arsenal soon too. Bob, I'm building an Arsenal 3.0 Scorpion Strike and a Raw Pearl. Another solid, perhaps. Scorpion Low Flare or a Hazmat Solid are going to be good options. And thank you for the congrats. Don, crypto is the green. Okay. Tigos, is that Quandale Dingle? What? Tiga, little boy. Would a 500 then 1,000 equate to a 1,500? It does not. No, they do not add up. So that would just be about 1,000 grit. Probably a little under 1,000, probably closer to 800 grit. So sad they banned the Phase 4. So Prodigy, they only ban them for the USBC tournaments. So only the USBC Open Championships and any PWBA event and the US Open and the USBC Masters. Otherwise, you can throw them just fine. Like, I still throw my Altered Reality once in a while, which I should re-drill. I really should re-drill that thing. That thing was awesome. Charmaine, what would be a good ball to replace the Gem right now? The Ion Max, Charmaine. The Ion Max will be best. Revs, I have a 27 ball arsenal. Care to break it down on video? Whew. If you would be willing, Revs, if you would be okay with it, I would go through and categorize it. I would go through and talk about all of them. That would be kind of fun, actually. It'd be kind of entertaining. Jorge, who's your favorite pro bowler? So before now he's retired, but Mikey Tang was my personal favorite just because his form is beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. He has some of the best physical game of a one-hander that I've ever seen. BJ Moore is up there with that too. But otherwise, right now, Andrew's pretty great. I like Andrew Anderson a lot. I always like to root for him. Little boy, that's what I thought, but a PSO near my area said that? Oh, what? Your PS, I'm texting that to somebody after this. So the guy who owns our shop is one of the most knowledgeable bowling people, or I would argue in the nation in terms of pro shop stuff. And I like bringing him just things that you guys tell me that your pro shops have done, because some of them are very humorous like that. That's wild. Tim Crane, Absolute Power, Summit Peak, Attention Star, The Road, The Sublime, Cherry Vibe. What are you missing? I'm noticing a lot of shiny bowling balls. So I would go with I'd go with Summit Ascent to match with the Absolute Power, Tim. That'll go well. Bowling Fool, real time as a sleeper ball? I would say so. I would say it is. It's looking good. It is looking really good. Back bowl, the PSO said that if you use a 500 grit pad, then a 1,000 grit pad, it equates to a 1,500 grit pad. Or 1,500 grit surface. So you add the surfaces together. LS, what is the difference between the AI and the Optimum Idle Pearl? They are very, very close together. They are super close. In my opinion, the Idle Pearl is a little sharper and a little rounder. So by rounder, it actually makes more of a banana shape, where the Phase AI, when it hooks and rolls forward a little bit more. But they are very close. T-Ghost, Tommy Jones and EJ Tackett, also awesome. Also fantastic, guys. Revs, I'm down. Just tell me where to send it. Ooh, I mean, we could. YouTube doesn't have a DM system. So Revs, if you have TikTok or Instagram, will be the best. Otherwise, I do have an email too if you want to send it there. So that's another option. T-Ghost, you like Packy too. Packy's a pretty cool dude. Super cool dude. Jeff, my dad used to be in the PBA and now he got nominated for Missouri Bowler of the Year. Jeremy Hunt, really? Jeremy Hunt. Jeremy Hunt is also a member of Parliament of the United Kingdom. Let's look up bowling. Hey, look at that. Yeah, 43. Hey, that's awesome. A righty. He's bowled 9 events total, cashed in 4 of them. That is very solid. That is really cool. Nice. Wow, that's super cool. Little boy, that's why I go somewhere else. Good call. Good call. And Tim, you are welcome. All right, let's hit some TikTok comments quick. Let's see. Yeah, Josh just picked up an Evoke and I love it on my longer patterns. Good. Love to hear that. Back bowl. I don't know Storm well. I have a Max Throw Pearl and then I got a Pitch Black. Is there something I could get for high friction lanes and low oil? The Hustles are going to be your best bet, back bowl. The Hustles are going to be the top options. Let's see. We are at Poop Goblin. I think you've been here before, but I always have to pause on your name. I always need to. Opinion on the White Hot Badger. The White Hot Badger was good, but it's very, very weak. A very weak bowling ball. Let's see. B Skulls. My daughter bowls with the track sensor. Need help. What ball to add when the sensor burns out? You're going to want to go like an Ivory Rhino. So that new white Rhino that came out. Joe, you're a speed dominant two-hander. You need something stronger than your Attention Star. I would go Ion Max or XL. Ion Max or XL will be the two best options. All right. Then we have a couple more comments. Email. Okay, deal. Yeah, Revs, then email is perfect with me. So it's just zvlbowling@outlook.com. But it's also in my YouTube. If I should have a link to it if you click on my channel. All right. We are going to hit a couple more comments and then we're going to call it a day. You guys have been amazing so far. We're going to hit these last couple of YouTube comments. So get whatever comments, whatever questions you have in now. We'll give it about 5 more minutes and then we'll be calling it a night. So we'll start with LS. Which between the AI and the Idle Pearl is better down from your phase 2? I would go AI. Your house is a flat back end and rather heavier. Yes, I would definitely go AI then. Joseph. I'm a little older. Fave bowler was Jason Couch and Mika. Oh, that's fair. Really fair. I like that. Yeah, no, Jason threw it incredibly and he kind of changed bowling a little bit. Mika is Mika. Enoch, hey, thank you for the congrats. Appreciate it. Brian was hoping SBI was going to announce a Zen replacement. I was hoping so too, but nothing in the cards yet. I think 900 is trying to bank off other balls right now, like that Origin they're putting a lot of time to, so I don't know. Vamp Lord, watch a lot of your Arsenal videos. First time with your live. Awesome, welcome. One-handed no thumb with the Cypher, the Extreme Envy, the Effect, the Arctic Vibe, and the Raw. So I would recommend a medium shiny ball. Any of the medium shiny category will be really good for you, Vamp. So Scorpion Strike is my personal favorite right now, but other balls in that category. Vamp for a mid ball. Yes. Okay, perfect. Joseph, hey, thank you. Congrats on 10K followers. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thanks for hanging in, Joseph. All right, we are going to call that for the YouTube chats. Let's hit a last couple on TikTok, and then we'll be calling it a day. Let's see. We are at Back Bowl. I will be in a lot. My name is Tyson, like the chicken. I just had Tyson chicken nuggets for lunch, by the way, because I eat like a 5-year-old. Joe, I have an Ion. Do you think it's worth having both? Yes. Ion Pro and Ion Max are nothing similar. Nothing similar at all. Henry, I'm a left-handed full roller. I keep leaving 7 pins. I use the Black Widow Hybrid 2.0. I'd go with something a little bit lower end. Something a little shinier. Deviate Mantra might be really good for you. That might be a really good ball down from that. All right. And then finally on the YouTube side, T-Ghost. Yeah, have a good Thanksgiving to you too. Monty, you have the 1, the Dark Web, the XL, the Sensor Solid, the Attention Star, UC3. What 2 balls are you missing? The 1, the Dark Web, the XL, the Sensor Solid, the Attention Star, and the UC3. I think you're missing a medium shiny ball. And then I think you're also missing a weak and shiny ball. I think those are the 2 slots. All right. And Vamp, you've had your eye on the Scorpion Strike. Yes, very much worth it. All right. We are going to call it on that, guys. Thank you all so much. Quick little precursor for what's coming in the next week. We have Black Friday this week. So if you're a bowler and you're looking for some bowling balls, I would wait until Friday because a lot of places, Bowler Smart and Bowler X, are going to have some awesome deals coming out. So I will have TikToks for any cool deals that I see. I will have just showing them to you guys, just saying them. YouTube, unfortunately, the short form might not be the best. I'll try to make it a short on YouTube also. But if you want to see those first, go follow the TikTok and you will be the first ones to see these deals right when I notice them. I should be on my phone way too much Friday, so I'll be checking that out throughout the entire weekend. Otherwise, we have a lot of cool content coming up in the next week. We have a fun animal only bowling arsenal tomorrow. We have our start of our top 5 of the year series starting on Sunday, and then we have a lot of other cool ideas over the next couple months. But TikTok, thank you all so much for helping me get to 10,000 followers. Helps me a ton. I really appreciate every one of you. This is your guys' channel, so this is an accomplishment for you guys. So congratulations to all of you. Thank you all so much. And then YouTube, thank you for helping me get to 4,000 subscribers already. We had our biggest month by far. So far in November, we're at over 100,000 views this month, which is insane numbers, absolutely insane numbers. So thank you on both sides of the aisle. You all are fantastic. I will call it from here. Shameless plugs. We do have a merch store. We just dropped an all white hoodie. That looks pretty good. And we have a couple other different colors. That is out on Teespring. We have links both on the TikTok page and on the YouTube. And I believe that's about it. Otherwise, we're going to call it on that. Thank you all. TikTok, we're going to say goodbye first. YouTube, we'll say goodbye in a second. TikTok, thank you so much. Have a good weekend. Have a good holiday. I will see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye. Enjoy the back of my thumb. See ya. All right. Now that is done, and we have a little bit of, always got to catch up on the YouTube side because there's a little more of a delay, but thank you all so much again. Much appreciated. We are going to call it on that. Love and appreciate every single one of you. Have a great weekend. Have a great holiday if you're celebrating. Otherwise, have a good shopping time on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We will see you again next Wednesday. See you.